Good morning, welcome to your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. That broken deck has moved off a little bit. We got scattered deck now at 25,000 feet. Otherwise, we have temperatures sitting in the low 80s, around 82, with some west-southwesterly winds around 5 to 10 knots. Take a look at the current surface analysis. We are sitting within that slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center of severe weather, as we will have some showers and storms pushing through the region as we get into the late afternoon hours, but expecting warm and humid conditions as we go throughout the day today, and remaining dry again until we get into that later part of the afternoon. Taking a look at the upper level winds from this morning's sounding, we do have kind of toggling between west to northwesterly as we go up through the column, with relatively light winds with a peak wind around 31 knots at 16,000 feet and the freezing levels at 14,600 feet. If we take a look at the visible satellite, we can see those high clouds that are continuing to move east-southeasterly, and we'll have some mostly sunny skies behind that as we go throughout the afternoon until we see some of that shower activity as out ahead of a cool front that would be moving through the area overnight. Push into the area as we get again into the later afternoon. Starting off with the high resolution short-term model, as take a look at the weekend and how these storms may play out as we go into the evening. We'll see again some clouds push in a little bit, nothing too crazy, and then we'll see a chance of seeing some showers and thunderstorms. Recent runs have shown a little more coverage with these showers and storms, so might have a little better chance, but at the moment expecting about a 40% chance, as they will be somewhat scattered, isolated, but we could see some of those storms coming together more linearly as we get some of these later model runs coming through. Otherwise, they'll push through likely between 6 and 8 local. Otherwise, then they should be out of the area as we get towards midnight, and then we'll see some clearing and cooling conditions as we go into our Saturday. Saturday should be mostly clear, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy, as we might have some low clouds built in, but still otherwise on the breezy side with some cooler conditions. And then same situation for Sunday with the exception of having mostly clear skies. If we take a look at the longer term forecast with the GFS, again, clear and dry conditions likely continuing up through Tuesday, and then we have some little lower confidence in our rain chances as we get into the middle of the week, as we have some disagreement with the models. The GFS here is going to show a little bit wetter solution as we get into Wednesday and into Wednesday evening and overnight into Thursday. So we'll have to see how that kind of progresses as we go throughout the weekend and into the early part of the next week. So keeping some chances in the forecast at the moment. We'll see how those models converge as we get into the beginning of next week. We take a look at the 24-hour weather risk chart. Again, expecting some warm conditions today. The record high for today is 94 degrees. We could creep up and get close to hitting that mark. Otherwise, we could see those west-southwesterly winds pick up a little bit as we get into the afternoon, particularly into the later part of the afternoon, with some gusts maybe up to 22 knots. And that will be more likely if we get some of those stronger storms push through the area. So we do have a yellow chance for precip and lightning as we get past the 4 o'clock local time, and continuing, we should see a taper off just before midnight, starting off with a 20% chance and then bumping up to about 40% chance. But again, with some of the latest model runs, could see that chance bump up a bit more. We'll have to see how it starts to come together. Otherwise, we do have a yellow risk for seeing some a wind advisory with those stronger gusts, but at the moment winds are not too bad, but we will see them pick up a little bit as we go into the afternoon. Also have a yellow risk for a heat index. We could see heat index values getting up to just below 100, maybe touching 100 for short periods of time, but not expecting it to exceed that 100 degree mark at the moment. As we go into the evening, we'll see those clouds push out of here pretty quickly, and then we'll see some cooling conditions with a northwesterly wind around 7 to 12 knots, getting down to a low in the upper 60s. And as we get into our Saturday, we'll see the winds pick up, setting up for a fairly breezy Saturday, where we have a better chance of seeing a wind advisory. So if we look at the forecast for the weekend, Saturday expecting partly to mostly cloudy skies, depending on how those lower clouds, the extent at which they build in here. Otherwise, some breezy to windy conditions at times. We do have an orange risk for seeing a wind advisory, as we do expect to see those stronger gusts up to about 25 knots. Otherwise, a high of 77. As we get into Saturday evening, we'll have partly cloudy, mostly clear conditions, remaining slightly breezy overnight with a low of 57. As we get into Sunday, mostly clear to partly cloudy day, and another breezy day with slightly less breezy than Saturday, but we do have a yellow risk of seeing a wind advisory in the area. Looking at the extended forecast, again remaining dry through Tuesday. Monday expecting partly to mostly cloudy conditions, high of 78 and a low in the evening of 65. Things will start warming up with a high of 82 for our Tuesday and a low of 69 Tuesday evening with some partly to mostly cloudy conditions. More clouds build into the area again for our Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll be keeping an eye out on some rain chances and maybe even some thunderstorm chances as we get into that part of the week, but low confidence in that at the moment, so we do have a 15% chance for both of those days. Otherwise, highs in the mid to upper 80s and a low in the right around 70 degrees. Well, that will wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again Monday at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.